It's my life. I'll do what I want.
Hey guys, I am back and I'm going to start a brand new series. I've actually been contemplating for the last 2 weeks whether or not to record this and actually do this as a series, but after watching the second episode, I just have to. Please stay tuned if you want to see my review on How to Get Away with Murder. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. How to Get Away with Murder is a brand new show to the ABC series. It's about a law professor. It's by Shonda Rhimes. It comes on ABC right after Scandal, and I'm a huge lover of Scandal. And when I saw How to Get Away with Murder, I wasn't sure if I was going to watch it, only because I wasn't sure if I was going to watch Scandal. I actually didn't watch Scandal until like mid-second season. Then I had to go back and watch like the first season all the way up through the first half of the second season to actually get myself caught up on it. But once I started to watch it, the first episode, couple episodes, I had to kind of get used to it. After that, it was really good. So I wasn't sure about How to Get Away with Murder, but I said I'd give it a test. So, but the very first episode was very captivating. And even from that, the second episode drew me in even more. So because of that, I have to do this new series on How to Get Away with Murder. And, everything about it is full detail. I'll be giving recaps every week about exactly what's going on, the entire show as it progresses, what I think of characters, what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing, and just my analysis on how this entire story will plot out. So, if we'll start the very first episode, the first episode actually was kind of an intro. We kind of got introduced to the entire cast and the backgrounds about everybody. Well, not full backgrounds about everybody, but we kind of got a detail about everybody. So the show really follows the professor. Her name is Annalise Keaton, played by Viola Davis. And then it's her class at the school, but she also runs a law firm, and she has two associates, Frank and Connie. Frank and Connie, and then she picks 4 students out of her class to join her firm. And this year she picked 5 because of one interesting character. So she has Laurel, Asher, Michaela, and then the good guy. He plays the officer on Orange Is the New Black. I can't even remember his actual name on the show. Whatever. But she picks them 4, and then she picks Wes, which is the 5th student. She usually picks 4, but this time she picked 5 because Wes was just an interesting character to her, and also he ended up kind of finding out some dirt on her. So, but we're introduced to a lot of people throughout the story, and as she goes to her class, she's also taking on a case. So with every case, she uses the class to help her solve the case, to see if they can figure out things that she couldn't figure out herself. That's the reason why you own a business and have employees, so you don't have to do all the work. Somebody else can do everything. Honey, you got that right all day. That's why you own a business. But Wes is this interesting character, and I think the story is really following him, his entire plot life, and how he got to be, and we're kind of following him. He's really the main character. Yes, Viola Davis is main all day, but when we're looking towards the students and who really we're focusing on, we focus more on Wes than anything else, and than anybody else. So, Wes is an interesting character. He ended up late in class, joined the class late. So, because he joined the class late, he didn't get in all the assignments. He ended up getting, not being prepared for class, and then as he's helping with the case, he ends up thinking of this theory that he think will help for the case. He ends up in Viola's office, and she has a boyfriend that is right between her legs. He walks in on something, but then he gets to a party and actually meets her actual husband. Viola ain't tripping. She ain't tricking nobody. Viola is something like a little nasty in this, honey. No, but the thing is, you know, when you think of Viola Davis is, you was kind, you was smart, you was important. And to think that Viola Davis is this young tenderoni and she got this man all, oh God, I cannot even think of Viola any other way. That you was kind, you was smart, you was important. But that's one of my favorite, that is absolutely the best film I love her in. I absolutely love her in that film. So it's hard for me to kind of like see her as a different character because I've so associated her with that character. It gets like this sometimes. You just know, like, everybody associates Kerry Washington with Olivia Pope. It's just how it is. Then there is Laurel. She's kind of this quirky girl that wants to be, she wants to show off that she knows as much as she knows. Like, you know, I could be just as good as them. And, you know, she's kind of quiet. And the only reason why she really got picked was because of Viola's associate, Frank. He actually picked her as one of the 4 to pick. He picked her because he liked her. And he's sleeping with students. So I think he really wanted to get to her. So that's the reason why he picked her. So, but she's there, but she's kind of quiet. So, you know, she's trying to really find her a spot in the place where she can stand out amongst everybody else. Because the one girl, Michaela, she is there all day, top of her class. She's just got to be seen. She's got to be, honey, she's just got to be the #1 thing. And then there's Connor. I think his name is Connor. Is it Connor? Or Colin? Whatever. He's the guy that is also at the top of his class, and you know, very successful with it. I mean, and the way he gets information is one of the best ways I've ever seen. Honey, and he just tries. But then there's the Orange Is the New Black cop. He's the cop that gets the girl pregnant, but then we have to lie and say she was already pregnant when she got into. Yes, I watched that entire series too, but I was just shocked to even see him on the show with 2 working legs. It's just hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. I find it so hysterical. So those are the main characters, and then we introduce some other side people. Of course, the boyfriend that Viola's with and everything like that. But the entire story is called How to Get Away with Murder because these 4 children, these 4 kids, are getting rid of Viola's husband. He somehow dies, and they are getting rid of his body. I mean, I have no idea what happened. We don't know, but all we know is they have to get rid of this body. So the storyline plots backwards and forwards. We go to past tense to present tense, past tense, present tense, and I think the entire storyline is just going to flow like that until we get everything coincide together, and it probably won't all come together to the season finale. So I definitely have to keep watching just to figure out how did he die. But I mean, it really follows them. We get introduced to all the characters, and now we find out that this lady's husband is dead. So now we have to backtrack and kind of find out, well, how did he die? Why did he die? And there was a student of his that ended up dead. She was found in a water tank, and Viola believes that he had something to do with it. So she just, you know, she looks at him. When they find her, he was like, yeah, I lost my student. She's died. They found her in a water tank. He was like, she looks dead at her husband. It's like, I bet the boyfriend did it. And the girl did have a boyfriend, but you could tell the way she was looking at him like, you a damn boyfriend. You the boyfriend. I bet you did it. It would be funny to see how that pans out because, you know, she really does think that he did it. She all day believes that he is the culprit of her death. So it's going to be interesting to see how she, you know, tries to put this entire thing together. It's just going to be absolutely hysterical. But for the most part, we see that the 4 kids taking his body, they don't know whether or not to just leave it or go back and get it or kind of get rid of the evidence. So they, you know, they've kind of split ways, but then they all decide to take the body, to dump it in the woods, and to set it on fire. So we're kind of left at that. This episode ends with because this whole time we knew it was a body, we don't find out until the very end that it is her husband. It is just an interesting story. I was captivated because I figured, I'm like, okay, somebody dies, but why are these kids? And honestly, I really honestly thought, okay, Viola has something to do with this because she's making these kids get rid of this body. So, and they kept saying, you know, we got to protect her and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, you know, Viola has something to do with this. So we'll figure it out towards the end. So when it was her husband, I'm like, oh my God, Viola killed her husband. Viola killed her husband, had these kids, burned the body. It was a captivating episode. The minute I saw his face, I'm like, I'm hooked. I'm hooked. I will be watching every night at 9 p.m. Central. I will be watching every Thursday night. Thank God it's Thursday for real, because Shonda, she takes over prime time for Thursday nights on ABC. So you go from Grey's Anatomy to Scandal, then to How to Get Away with Murder. I don't watch Grey's Anatomy. I'm new to that. Well, I'm not new to it anymore, but I'm a huge Scandal watcher. But I believe that How to Get Away with Murder, it captivates Scandal 10 times over. The storyline for this entire show is just going to be so drawing. It's going to captivate you. It's going to pull you in. If you aren't watching, you are only 2 episodes behind. Go on abc.com, watch, get caught up, because you will love this show. You just have to. You have to trust it and watch it as it plays out. But the storyline is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I'm a huge law watcher. I watch Law and Order. I watch People Court. You know, so I don't want to get into law as a profession, but I always love to learn about how people get away with stuff. You know, when they have defense attorneys, when the people are actually making pleas, and you know how you can use different tactics and ethics, and you know, in defending somebody in court. It's just an amazing thing to me. I hope you enjoy. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this station, to this channel, so that you will stay up to date on everything that is How to Get Away with Murder, and everything that involves me. Bye.